I'm Michael Buffer here, and let's get ready for FM Boxing Media.
This is Frankie Morgan here from FM Boxing Media, brought to you by the High Protein Company. And today I'm joined by Dr. Spencer Fearon. It's the first time I've introduced you as that. How's that feel?
I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful. Like I said, massive shout out to Oxford University, the Compunctional Political Science Group, Lord Rami Ranger, because I got my doctorate at the House of Lords, and also Grandmaster of Chess, Mr. Raymond Keane. I'm really grateful for the honour, and like changed my passport already, Frankie. So you know what I mean, FM boxing, yeah, that's some of that.
We interview doctors nowadays.
Yeah, exactly. I came to the show. I said, "No, you don't need no doctors. I'm here. Don't worry. You lot can go home. Johnny Clark, give me the money. I'll do it."
But one thing I do want to mention, I just walked past, I felt a poke, and I thought, oh, what's that? You've still got a bit of power in that body shot. It was only one finger, but you've got a bit of power there still. When you coming back?
No, I ain't coming back. I ain't never left the sport. You know what? You know what the thing about it is this? It's like your health is your wealth. You're going to realise that as you're going to get older. I mean, you know, young whippersnapper. How old are you now? 22?
24, me, 24.
I remember you just...
The bald head shows it.
Nah, but you're a little whippersnapper. I remember when you used to come down the gym with Joe. So it's amazing to see you grow, and you've always been passionate about boxing. And the major thing is this: I've been very fortunate. I've managed to make my passion my paycheck. I mean, I've got to give a massive shout out to Pentecostal Community Bank, who I consult for, TCU 29, who I'm the head of sports and entertainment for. They make my job really easy for me, and then it's nice that young men like you respect the knowledge that I have in boxing, because loads of other fighters come to me for stuff, so we give them tips and stuff like that, and we charge them, so it's cool. I'm happy.
One thing I have seen is you're holding the pads again recently, and you actually held the pads for a good friend of mine, Mr. Soldier Powell, recently, and he's a great kid, obviously. I met him the first time I interviewed you. This was at the Devon Haney Open workout, and that's where I met him, and then I'm re-linked up with you for the first time in probably about 8 years, and got an interview in with you. But yeah, how good is it holding them pads again, teaching the knowledge onto the next generation?
It's not that, it's like so many parents ask me to help out their kids, so many on a daily basis, and I haven't really got the time to do it. But when I do, and especially like, it's nice to see like young men who are polite and courteous. That makes you want to do it. And there's also like, I'm helping out. There's a couple of little young trainers who are coming through as well, who I'm helping out as well. But I know they're gonna go do great stuff because I'm just plying them with so much. You know what I mean? And what you have to remember is this: Einstein said, like, if you have something you can't teach it to a 7-year-old, then it's a waste of time. Right? So lots of people like convolute and make things more difficult and more than what they really are. Some things are simple, but you got to tap into the spiritual sense of it to make it simple. I've been fortunate to be able to do that, and that's the truth.
Yeah, I see you was up on stage a couple of days ago for a big occasion of yours, opening up. It's like a documentary, weren't it, about the history of boxing? How big was it for you to finally get that release and let the people see the actual history of the sport and some of the dark side of the sport, really?
Well, you know what? I'm just grateful to it. Was redefined, and it was Guy Kane that put it together, and it was nice because there's quite a few people. John Nelson's in it, Pat Barrett's in it. Who else is in it? Frank Smith. There's Dev Sarni. There's quite a few people in it, but like the major contributor for that was me for the historical stuff. Also, my mate Ben Doughty's in it as well, so I was grateful for that. You know, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But there's obviously a lot of people that realise the things that black people used to have to go through in boxing, but they didn't realise how recent a lot of this still was. And you even mentioned 100 years ago sounds like a lot if you're talking about I bought a car 100 years ago, but exactly. When you're talking about stuff like that, 100 yeyears isn't long at all, is it?
No, it isn't, but we've got to say, like, of that time, and this is a major thing, is like the world is changing, right? And it's changing because we as human beings, and there's only one race, it's human race. We're divided into tribes. So we have a boxing tribe, just like you've got a football tribe right now for like, World Cups on who you're supporting. this is what we do as human beings. But the major thing is like how things have changed or everything else is like, because there's been a paradigm shift. And the paradigm shift is knowing like this, people disguising racism as patriotism, right? Good people are just good people, right? And obviously, if you're doing things, you want to see your own, meaning your next door neighbor who you've grown up with could be Asian, but because you've grown up with him, it's cool. So this is the thing, we believe that God only made us different for one reason, for us to know one another. That is it. But to know one another, but also not to know one another, but to love one another. So let's spread love, man. Simple.
100%. Now, one thing I do want to touch on. You even touched on it yourself. Football divides nations, blah, 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 but World Cup is on at the moment. Is it coming on? Is it finally coming on, Spencer?
Do you know what? It's the next thing. Let me touch on this. When you're seeing an England team, yeah, and you're seeing 8 of the players that are black, right? There's been a lot of people that's been screaming, "Oh, this is not England. This is not." I'm like, brother, so I'm not English? Are you mad? I was born here. You know what I mean? So I know growing up, I'm older than these young kids who are kicking the ball now. I know when I was a kid, when I was thinking like Viv Anderson, who was doing his bit, John Barnes when he was doing their bit, and I remember the torrid amount of racism and abuse that they used to get, right? The world's changing, and not only that, but because we're like, what I'm seeing now is like, loads of times we're looking at for the opportunity to be given, they were not given. Now, when certain players of colour, they get that position to be on the England squad, they take it very, very seriously because it's been ingrained in them, like, rah, you've only got one shot at this. They may not have one shot, but they just think through the social paradigm of thinking that, rah, I'm only going to get one shot at this, so I've got to do my best. And we're seeing that right now, right? But we're seeing like the team is very multicultural. Before, in the old days, when we used to watch England football, I'd see certain, love my brother, yo, when you fighting, man? Come on, man. Right. When we're seeing that, we're seeing guys who are coming through and they weren't getting the shots. Andy Cole should have been kicking ball for
Andy
England.
Cole, I always say, as much as he was just before my generation, I'm a Man United fan, so my dad has told me about Andy Cole, and so only take one penalty goal,
right, exactly.
And he scored that many.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Right, exactly. You got to think about it. Andy Cole should have a knighthood. Right, I'm surprised Andy Cole ain't got MBE. Right? Shit, I got doctorates, come on. Right? No, he hasn't got none. Andy Cole is the Premiership's 3rd highest goal scorer. Right?
To do that without penalties as well is ridiculous.
Right. So really, theoretically, he's actually the top goal scorer for the Premiership. Think of all the great players that we've had in the Premiership. Right, he weren't getting a look in. Ian Wright should have had a look in many a time for England, never. You know what I mean? So it's changing now. Because now what I realise is the powers that be, they just want to win. Right? They just want to win. But it's really a sad thing that certain people just feel like we're accepted when we're winning. As soon as they lose, then they're going to get blamed. You know what I mean? So no, I'm not buying into none of that. We are one human family. And football has the power to unite our country. Because right now, our country's in massive turbulence. Do you know what I mean? It's a massive turbulence. Football has the power to do that. And I really do think that it's coming on.
How do we change the look from this nation when when things go wrong? You've had David Beckham get death threats when he got sent off.
Yeah.
You've had Wayne Rooney have crowd booing him. You've had Saka, Rashford and Sancho get racially abused for missing penalties. But it seems to be not only for black people, but anyone who does wrong in this country for football gets abused. How do we change that round so people can finally get what they deserve?
I'll tell you why, yeah? It's easy to point the finger at somebody that's done wrong. But remember, the man that points his finger has 3 fingers pointing back at him. So it's easy to point the finger or pick on, because what we're doing, we are venting our own lack of inhibitions in ourselves. And until we know how to channel that thing properly, basically to work from value, not strive for it, then you won't have any qualms with anyone. I'm really trying to work from value in everything I'm doing. So if I'm working from value, then I'm constantly winning. The mere fact that I woke up in the morning, I'm winning. So people get angry over this thing, but you have to look at football and know like the world is changing because people are actually uniting. We're thinking that we're in some big dramas and all the rest of it. It's not. Because the decision makers are the ones that are doing things like yourself. Because you're doing things, you have a social encompass. And because you're working off a social encompass, then it gets rid of racism. Because you realise to judge people as who they are.
Yeah, because do you think when it comes to boxing, that is the one place in the world that everyone has always agreed. There's no such thing as racism in a boxing gym. It's everyone's brothers. Everyone's brothers. You've got black kids, white kids, Asian kids all training together.
How I grew up. That's how. Well, when I grew up, there weren't many Asian kids at the time when I was in the gym at the Lynn, but we were very, very multicultural because like you also got there's a lot of classes in it. So you have white kids who are travellers, right? But because they were travellers, people outside the gym would look down on them. But they were the toughest. Every travelling kid I knew, if they couldn't fight, they could talk a good game.
Talking of talk a good game, did you stay up for Conor McGregor by any chance last night?
No, I never. Everyone said it was pony.
Because that's got to be talking a good game to the maximum and then not performing to the maximum. I think he went out, he threw one kick, popped his knee and fight over.
Well, but he's been out for 5 years, right? Now let's just call it as it is. The drink, the drugs, the lifestyle. And furthermore, I don't rate Conor McGregor. Isn't he like, was he convicted for sexual assault?
It was a paid-off trial, but no convictions, but a paid-off trial. So
right. So I can't support a man like that. I got daughters. I'm just gonna be real. And he could be a lovely guy. He could be a really nice guy. But I'm saying me personally, I can't support that. So, but you know what? Fair play to him though, because what he has done, he has spoken into existence the things that he wants in his life. He's done that. But as a fighter, he's done that. Let's be real.
Yeah, he supposedly found God as well. This is why he come back. This is why he had his return. Obviously, I know you're a man.
He found God?
Supposedly.
I didn't know God was lost. I didn't know. Jesus. Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. I know you're a man of your faith. You always have been.
I just want to know, what was God lost? And then you just, by the way, this over here. I don't know.
Yeah,
I wish them nothing but the best, bro.
Spencer, if you was going to sign us off with one last thing, now you are a doctor, you might have a different message. If you was to sign off to the people and send one last message, what would it be?
My one last message is this, is like, everything is possible, right? So, for the time, somebody would turn around and say it's going to be totally impossible for someone to come off a council estate, to do the things I've done, to be at the House of Lords, in the Winston Churchill room, to get an honorary doctorate from the highest seat of learning at Oxford University. You'd think that. But I'm trying to say to you, as long as if you can see it in your head, you can hold it in your hand. I see a lot of things in my head.
Spencer, I want to say thank you very much. Good to talk to you as always.
FM boxing, trust me, I predict, remember, I want to snip this bit, I predict that this channel that you're doing, Frankie, is going to be one of the biggest in the whole world. Remember I said that.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Cheers, man.